It was Karl Marx, actually, who articulated the point. And I'm not a Marxist. I'm just, this is a philosophical point of view only about human value. And that's where he was coming from because it begins with food. The only way that a human being can allow themselves to kill an animal for consumption is to feel better than that animal. You have to say, I am human, you're a cow. I need to live more than you. The only way you can do that is my kids need to eat. Or you have to justify it some way. His point of view was pretty articulated, and there really shouldn't be any justification at all. He was the most pacifist person. But that's also why I'm not a Marxist, because you cannot be a Marxist and survive. Because Marxism is very much like Shaolin. Like, if you go too far into the temples, you will meet men and women, but mostly men, who have a tiny reed broom and they move every insect out of their way. And their entire life is spent moving in absolute slow motion so that they don't disturb a fly. But flies can spread dysentery, so sometimes you gotta kill flies. But they would never kill flies. They would just keep running away until they found a place where they could live just by moving things out of the way. The only way they can survive is for other people to find value in their spiritual insight and give them food. Because it would break their brains if they had to kill a bug to pick their own oatmeal. That's why it's one of those. It's great the philosophy exists, but there's no way to make it utilitable. There's no utility in absolute pacifism because it takes 1,000 people to keep one of those monks alive. Because if no one had built the temple for him, he wouldn't even have a place to live. And he might kill a bug building his own temple. I still love that they exist, and I think they should. It's just very hard to design a society where they're allowed to exist without somebody killing bugs for them. And then basically the exchange the village has with the temple is, will you forgive us if we kill bugs? Oh, of course I will. Thank you for killing my bugs. I've met a monk that's just, you'll kill flies for me. He's not high. He's enlightened, but his life of enlightenment is actually really traumatic to other people, and I don't envy him at all. Very different schools of thought, though, because if I had 3,000 spirit warriors like him, no one's even going to get the mail because he might step on a bug going to the mailbox. But that's still the argument that even Hitler used on why he was better than Karl Marx. Because he said, I'm not a terrible person, I'm a vegetarian. Adolf Hitler said, I'm a vegetarian Catholic. He also did bend nose. He was taking speed and was doing all kinds of horrible things. He was a terrible person. But he used Karl Marx to justify being horrible. And there are a lot of very horrible people that are even in political offices or just in the world that will tell you, I'm a feminist, I'm a this, I'm a this, and I'm a this. And then you watch them for 2 days smack their kids, eat a hamburger when they told you they were vegan, or they tell you, oh, I believe in all these things. I believe in all these things. And then you watch them eat an entire jar of Haagen-Dazs. And you go, oh, you told me you were vegan. Oh, sometimes I cheat. If you had the philosophy of a vegan, then you understand how many cows suffered for that ice cream. You didn't even make a good brand choice. You're just a liar. Authenticity is developed by congruence. I'm the type of spirit warrior monk who would build a temple for another person that was too scared to kill a bug. Because I think it's dumb that they're scared to kill bugs. But I would also be one of the ones that came back and talked to them all the time. Because it'd be fun to talk to. That's why I would build him a temple. Because then I'd be like, I know where that dude is. He's too scared to step on crickets. That's philosophy. And if you gather enough philosophers that are willing to not be philosopher kings, like that whole argument again, but that guy is a king because he gets a whole palace to himself and he doesn't have to kill crickets. In his understanding, he's gotten Yahtzee. He has no TV and he doesn't have to kill bugs. He loves it. But that's the premise, is like, let's get 3 or 5 smart people to develop a strategy so that that guy can live, that guy can live, those 3 ladies over there can live, that guy down there can live, just so we can talk to him. It's never worked. But that was the whole premise. And like, that's even what Karl Marx wanted. That's why they gave him food, because he wrote good books. But we like your thoughts. We can only use 20% of them. But, while I'm killing your bugs, I can think about the other ones. Welcome to the new channel.